I just wanted to tell you a little bit about what teen leadership is. It is a class that we've started at Ionia Middle School this school year, and it's really an extension of a process and a philosophy we adopted a couple years ago, the Capturing Kids' Hearts philosophy, which all staff in the district have now been trained. But teen leadership is really a class about empowering students to become leaders in the Capturing Kids' Hearts process and philosophy, and developing interpersonal and social and leadership skills that will not only help them be successful in school, but to be successful in life as well. And the other great thing about Capturing Kids' Hearts is it's not just then about what adults in our building are doing to change our school learning environment and our school culture, but what students can do and their role in improving the school environment and culture and becoming leaders within the building.
Teen leadership is an opportunity where students get to develop their leadership skills and personal skills, even some business skills. They learn to develop healthy concept of relationships and networking, and understand concepts of personal responsibilities even. They'll develop the understanding for emotional intelligence and the difference between that and like an IQ intelligence. They will develop their public speaking skills. These kids stand up and give some of the most amazing speeches that I've ever seen. And the ability to just counteract any type of negative peer pressure or influences, and that seems to be a skill that the kids really, really hone in on.
The last 3 years we've incorporated Capturing Kids' Hearts at the middle school here. I've really seen a positive result of the 3 years combined. The number of office referrals has gone down, as well as consequences such as lunch detentions after schools, in schools and out of schools. The teen leadership class is another valuable part of that. I've seen students giving their final speeches, and some of the lessons they're learning certainly add to all the students that are taking the class as well. They're learning valuable skills that they'll use to become leaders in the school and change the culture of the school into a positive environment.
The students who have been enrolled in the teen leadership classes are easy to spot in my other classes. I had one particular group of Spanish students, 7th graders, and you could pick out who had already taken teen leadership based on their leadership skills in the group. And what's really neat is you could see the other students responding to them. As they raised the bar for themselves and their own behavior, the other students responded by raising the bar for themselves. They were thanking me for things like opportunities to practice. Imagine that, middle schoolers thanking you for homework. They were shaking my hand and saying, "Have a nice day, Mrs. Diorio," using my name, making eye contact. A lot of skills that even some adults I know might lack.
Teen leadership is a class that helps you build confidence in yourself and step out of your bubble. This class helped me a lot as a person and as a leader. I learned to build confidence in myself, step out of bubble, and how to make speeches in front of large groups of people.
Teen leadership allowed me to gain confidence. I learned how to approach life situations in the right way, because before I really didn't know how to approach them. I really liked how we learned about the 8 Qs and how they were taught to us. I gained a lot of new friends, and I made relationships stronger with teen leadership.
The Excel teaching model is a tool that teachers can use to build meaningful relationships with their students, provide a safe environment in which to learn, and develop a dialogue for team building. This in turn paves the way for students to be able to use skills they've learned with confidence and enthusiasm. The steps outlined in the Excel teaching model prepare teachers to effectively impact their students each day they come together from the beginning to the end of class. Engage. This step is essential to the success of the day. It begins as we greet the students at the door with a handshake at the beginning of each class. We draw them into a relationship with us, which we can build upon as the class progresses. We are also modeling social and professional skills. When we start the class with Engage, we are preparing the way for the students to be involved with us in the learning process. Explore. This second step lays the foundation for the content of the class which is to follow. We get in touch with where our students are personally, emotionally, and academically. The skills we use when we explore with our students are listening, attending, conveying empathy, probing, and asking open-ended questions. Learning cannot take place until we are able to discuss what we don't know.
To me, good news was a way to share something that was important to me or something that had happened that was fun over the weekend. And it was just an easy, fun way to tell everyone around me what I thought was real cool. And I really liked it.
Communicate. This step is the communication of the content of the class. The teacher addresses the needs discovered in the previous step. A two-way process, it is not simply the passing along of information and material, but instead it is a dialogue between teacher and students. The process is dynamic and experiential, requiring the teacher to be a facilitator and a resource to the class. Teachers must be able to communicate the content of their course in a way that it's captivating, creative, and responsive to their audience. A very important task in this step is the ability to translate that which is being taught into the real-world benefits.
I is for interpersonal skills. P is for persistence. O is for
Empower. Empowerment occurs when the student gains the ability to use and do the things they have been taught. When we can do what we have been taught, then we are truly empowered. The students learn information or a technique in the communication step, and then in this step, they practice and apply what they have learned until it becomes a skill. As a key to this step is to build an atmosphere of trust in which the students feel free to fail while going through the learning process.
And spectator sport.
Participate!
And
Math is fun!
go fill some buckets.
Launch. In the Excel teaching model, launching has to do with the way we end and send. It is the way teachers end a classroom experience and the way that they send their students charging forth to face the future. This is vastly different from just having kids rush out the door when the bell rings. Every great speaker and teacher realizes the importance of ending on a powerful note.
Launches are one of the best things about that I have, because they are where, like, Mrs. Williams will say something, like as in the can one that we did where we crushed a can, and it was as in someone's feelings. Like when we crushed a can, it was like as being someone's feelings that we crushed, and we tried pulling them back together, but you can't because it's someone's feelings and you can't always bring it perfectly back together, so there's always at least a little dent back into it. And the reason I really like them is because, like, the can one, I think actually kind of hit me as in well, because like I have seen it happen and have happened it to me and done it maybe a couple times, and so it really kind of helped me.
My son Parker was able to be in the teen leadership class, and he really became a leader. He always has had the capability, but the thing that he didn't have was the confidence, and this class allowed him to have the confidence and the skills to stand up in front of his classmates, do the right thing, and take some risks that he maybe didn't feel comfortable doing before.
Teen leadership affected my confidence because when I started this class, I wasn't really as confident as I am now. I was really shy. And the speeches we do in here, my first speech, I was all crouched down. I didn't really look at anyone. And then the final speech came. I gave a speech really confident. And I gave it to people I didn't even really know, like some of the kids' parents and adults. And it's just, I really want to learn more, actually.
I've seen lots of students that take the teen leadership class win some of the school awards that we receive, such as Citizen of the Month, Student of the Month, Dignity and Respect awards. So we've seen a growth in terms of the numbers of students coming from these classes that are winning these awards or being nominated for them.
by the time he was done in the first trimester, it was his favorite class. Wanted to take it again in hopes that he'll have an opportunity again in the future. Watching him give his final speech was emotional for me as a parent, and for him it was really a heartfelt conversation that he was having with his classmates, talking about doing the right thing regardless of who was watching, and he learned a lot of that during the class. So it was very much a reinforcement of what we want as parents. This class has been excellent for him. Also, I've seen changes with some of his classmates that I've had the opportunity to work with on a football field and a basketball court, seeing them do things with classmates, including them, treating them differently, being leaders in a positive way rather than getting attention in different ways. These kids have an opportunity to make a difference, not only within the class, but within their school and within our community, and I really look forward to what these kids will continue to evolve into.
The results from this program have been outstanding. When a teacher hears students repeatedly tell them they want to learn more, or they can't wait to take this again in the next grade, I think that speaks volumes on its own.
I want this in 8th grade. I want to learn more. I really want teen leadership in 8th grade.
I want to learn more.
I want this in 8th grade.
Hopefully through our video presentation you've learned a little bit more about the teen leadership class and the powerful impact it's had on our 7th grade students this year. And our goal is for the future to expand this to an 8th grade class, as well as providing a chance for these students to apply their leadership skills and their interpersonal skills that they've learned to become mentors for our incoming 6th grade students and even for 7th grade students, and to really look at how they can become leaders, and as I said in the beginning, changing the culture in our building and looking at things such as bullying and how we treat other students. And hopefully through some grant funding, that is our goal for next year, to take some of these teen leadership students and have them continue in 8th grade as mentors and positive role models.